8 sexy properties. We're going to talk today about why they are sexy, why you should buy that. Expert commentary from Billy the Kid and Mark Novak. Cheers, bye.
Tops of the morning to you, sir.
How are ya?
I'm feeling good. Yesterday I looked tired on camera. I watched it back and I was like, that's not my finest episode, but today I'm feeling a little bit more awake.
I reckon you're alright. You reckon you did good?
No, I just felt tired on the inside. It was a good topic. I was just tired. Today I'm feeling a little bit more alive. We've got another good topic.
Nice. Yeah. This is Real Estate 101 running commentary on our hand-picked greatest, mostest, sexiest, bestest properties that we've got.
That's it. I'm going to do a share screen. We're going to get the viewers in there to have a look. Oh, that's not what I want.
Kabang. Yeah. Ready? Bang. Boom.
Oh, we're having some technical difficulties here, Mark.
Boom. You can't do it.
Slides. Stop screen. Oh, hang on. There we go. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we
go.
All right, so some cracking properties here to talk about today. We're going to talk about why they're sexy and why you should buy them. So, starting off, a standard 2-bedroom apartment in DY on Oaks Avenue, great address, nice and close to the beach. Guide of 950,000, so potentially close that under the $1 million mark.
Nice. Can we cycle the photos?
Yeah, we can.
Got the kitchen, nice outlook there. Beautiful living. 950. What would I rent for? Close to the beach.
$650, $700 a week.
There's your floor plan.
Balcony, good car space.
So it's most likely going to get around that sort of 950 figure. It's a 2-bedder. That's a good buy for a stock standard 2-bedroom in DY. The great news with that is it's doubled every 10 years for the last 40 years. So it's just done really, really, really well. So that's a good stock as a rock property.
Yeah.
Next one.
All right, moving on. 31 Seaforth Crescent, the trophy home. Look,
this is the King Kong.
This is what dreams are made of.
Wow. Oh, it's just an amazing home. Can you show us that big photo of the house? So that's one house, 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. Your guide price is $10 million. And I've got to say, it is probably the cleverest floor plan and design I've seen of any home that I've ever been through. It feels amazing. Every room has a view. The parents' retreat is just incredible. Just to build something like this would cost an absolute fortune. To buy that land would be an absolute fortune. It's a terrific buy for someone. And I guess people wonder what sort of caliber of person can afford to buy something like that. This is someone that's probably bought and sold a unit, bought and sold a bigger unit, bought and sold a house, bought and sold a bigger house. They're probably in a $5 million, $6 million home, got some nice money from work, and then they go, you know what, I'm going to buy this. They don't have a lot of debt on my existing home, and they get into that perfect family home. Teenagers are going to stay with them forever, even when they're in their 20s, because it's just such a good floor plan. Next property.
Agreed. But Mark, would you say that is the perfect house for an owner-occupier? Or do you think an investor would look at that at all?
I reckon it's owner-occupier, because when you look at your yield on investment, it's going to do very good capital growth. You'll get hit with a bit of land tax, and the rent, you'll probably be getting only a couple of % return on your money. So it's never going to be a hero rental with your rental figure.
Yeah.
Unlikely. But you know what? Possible. Sometimes if people are posted overseas for a couple of years, then they'd buy it, rent it, and when they get back, they'll occupy it.
Next up, Lisa's put a comment in there. We brought it forward in the list, Mark. 31 Churchill Crescent, Allambie Heights. This is a really beautiful family home. But what I love about this is it's got a separate residence to the side that has been leased for $700 a week. So that's really good passive income if you're not going to use it for the family.
So guys and girls, this is a good example because you would never think that a granny flat of $150,000 build would rent for $700 a week. This is a shining example. And the thing that I love about it, if you're getting $750 a week in rent, that could potentially pay a mortgage of $1.2 million. So the mortgage remaining after you've brought some money over to the deal, maybe only $1 million left. So for 3.2, it's a compelling property because you can live really, really well in a beautiful suburb, very close walk to the shop, very good street. And again, Allambie Heights has done excellent with capital growth. All these suburbs we've talked about today are absolute star players with capital growth. What I mean by that is when you buy it, 10 years later, if you sell it, most of these suburbs, it's doubled over the last 40 years. Some of these suburbs, just the last 10, it's doubled twice.
Yeah, that's a look inside the granny flat. I mean, it really is finished very nice. And what I love about this house is it's really it's a great family home. So you don't necessarily need, the separate annex unless you've got, potentially parents staying or things like that with you.
Or if your kids get married, you want to help them out to get a start while they buy their own place and rent it out. They can still stay in the granny flat, live close.
Yeah,
play with the grandkids.
Now this one here is another 2-bedroom apartment in DY, 108A 2 Oaks Avenue, but this is off the plan at the moment. So this is in the new Havana project building. Very exciting. Mark, we spoke a lot about this at the time they were being sold off first release. Why do you consider this still a great investment?
Look, it's not ready for a year or two. Sometimes people don't have their final finances in place to actually execute and buy and settle on something now, but they've got money for a deposit and they know they're going to be good to buy in a year or two with how they're going with work. So off the plan is great because you're not paying a mortgage along the way. Once you put down your 10%, you've locked the price in. Even if the value of the property goes up by 100 or 200,000, you're not paying that. You're paying the price you've locked in, and you've only put down a 10% deposit.
Love it. Love it. This one's a special one. What do you call this? The Godzilla.
This is Godzilla. This is Godzilla. This thing, if you can zoom up on that photo if you can, you would buy this block of land for offers over 7.95. And where it's spectacular is it's positioned right next to Frenchs Forest Hospital, and it has a DA approval to build 55 apartments. So you can buy this for offers over $795, probably spend about $8 million building, and you will have a rental income of about $1.3 million a year. You will be getting a return on your money of about 8%. Furthermore, if you sell it, you'll probably make a gross profit of $6, $7, $8 million potentially.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. There's a lot of information to go through there. Get in touch with Mark and the team because there are some of the numbers that we're working off, and there's a lot to be said about that. Loftus Street.
Loftus Street. Counterintuitive purchase.
Do you think that is one of the best views you could have sold, Mark? Or had the privilege of selling in the process of?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beauty. Beautiful. It's an absolute beauty. So the nice thing about this place is at the moment everyone's actually ran from the city. commercial headquarters are not the in thing anymore. People are working from home. That's the in thing at the moment. So a lot of people have decentralised from Sydney CBD. It's put a lot of pressure on real estate. Our international clientele are not travelling from certain parts of the world to Sydney or Sydney CBD. So we've lost that international market. We've lost the student market that pays some rents in the city and creates the vibe. And we've had people decentralised. That's why I think it's a good reason to buy this, because I think it's at an all-time low to buy a property in the city.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is.
You're beautiful, Billy. You're beautiful.
Mark, I got told that if you buy this, you become rich and get the cars with it as well. Is that true?
Automatically. Yeah, automatically. You do. This is in French's Forest, 3,000 metres squared. 4.95 is the guide price. But get this, just to buy that block of land's probably 2.5 mil. And just to build a house like that's probably 2.5 to 3 mil. So you're pretty much like, that's 700 metres squared of internal house. That's like triple a big house. It's a beautiful, big, full brick concrete slab and concrete wall home. It is fortress that would not have been even touched in the storms that we just had on Sunday.
Yeah. All right. And then the last one we've got is a property that is not yet on our website, but we can still talk about it. We've got a really nice one-bedroom apartment coming on in Manly Vale with a guide of $650. So something a little bit more affordable for the first home buyers. Do you reckon that the smaller one-bedroom apartments are not only just as good for the first-home buyers, but investors? Would you rather, as an investor, have a couple of smaller ones, or put your eggs in one basket and go for something a little bit bigger? Maybe something like Churchill versus a couple of smaller apartments.
My advice to investors at the moment is the big, ugly gorilla or elephant in the room is land tax. And at the moment, I've got landlords that have a house that's rented for $750 a week, and their land tax bill is about $550 a week. They haven't even paid the mortgage yet. So if you consider the way the government calculates land tax, they do it on a rolling 3-year average. So given what the property market's done performance-wise in the last year or two, I think the next 3 years land tax will fully adjust, and I reckon there's going to be a lot of people hurting on land tax that own investment properties. I mean, to the tune of, you could have a little basic house rented for $750 a week, and your land tax will be more than your rent.
So to answer the question, is it better to go for a couple of smaller apartments or something bigger like Churchill, where you've got two sort of sides of income?
So to give you an idea, I reckon they're going to perform equally in sales price. I reckon they're going to perform similarly in rent. And I reckon your outgoings are going to be out of control because of land tax on the house. Just remember, you can almost own, for every $4 million or for every $2 million house, you can almost own $8 million of units, $6 million of units, and it's the same land tax.
Wow, that's big.
Yep.
That's why you should buy 50 of them.
Yeah, so I guess the short answer to your question is I'd buy units due to the land tax, because I think the rental yield and the capital growth are going to be great, just like a house. Providing you're buying an area, because don't forget what we've said in before episodes, supply is the enemy of capital growth. So as long as you're buying units in a low supply area, you don't want to buy like in areas where like there's a shit ton of units coming on. Parramatta, those areas, I don't particularly agree with. I'd rather be in low supply areas for that reason.
Yep. Love it. Okay. I think that's it, Mark. We covered 8 there.
Mate, thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully that gives a bit of insight to people and property on the Northern Beaches.
So we've got 8 really good properties on our books at the moment. Please give us a call and get you through. And yeah, someone will be happy with just about any one of those. There's reasons for each of them.
Big time. See ya.
Ciao.